When we start talking about the Garland ISD, the great part about this is that the superintendency isn't a person, it's a team. It starts with a team of 8, and it transcends throughout the community. And so the great part about this unique presentation is it's not called State of the District, it's called Lopez Listened. So how many of you, raise your hand, if you attended a Lopez Listens session? All right? So we got a lot of people that attended the sessions throughout the community, and you're going to see that. And the reason why that's important is because the state of the district isn't going to be the state of the district that we're accomplishing solely as a district. It's a community-wide effort. Your input is going to be seen on what happened last year. Last year was my first full year, so I did 6 months of listening, and then we started rolling out initiatives. So the way that looked like is I started in February of 2018. And I engaged 1,000 people. I did 17 sessions. And that doesn't even include the people that we got online getting feedback from. It sounds exhausting, but it was more invigorating than anything. It set a course for the district that the community said, and we're talking about all facets of the community, from chambers of commerce to parents, to community members, to principals, to teachers, to counselors, and to even students. All of those were included in these sessions, and they're going to be part of the dynamic. The school district has always been dynamic, but we're continuing to do dynamic things and the evolution of what we're doing to be a 21st century leader in education. So you shared your valuable input, and we listened. So the first thing we wanted to focus on was academics. So everything that came out of here, these major 3 things came out of academics. We have our ACE program, which we're highlighting, our College for All initiative, and our PTEX. So when we talked about ACE, we had to ACE 2 campuses. And what is ACE? Basically, it's reconstituting 2 campuses with incentives. So we changed the principal, the teachers, the teacher aides, you name it. It was all the adults changed. What didn't change was the students. So what happened was we changed the adults. So we had different adults, same students, but better results. The only thing changed was the adults. And we did so well. These were campuses that were destined to be an F on the new A through F rating system. The board took a bold initiative. I think I was on the job just a few months. And I said, look, we're going to try this out. And they said, you know what, anything to help the campuses. Because on the first day I got here, people were saying we have to do something about these 2 campuses. See, that's the beautiful thing about Garland. They care about all campuses. And you could ask people, do your children go there? And they said no, but we still care about those schools. So those schools went from what was going to be an F, one scored an 85, another one scored an 87 in just 1 year's time. That deserves a big round of applause. Next year, I hope to present that they're both A campuses. That's the plan. The other thing is a College for All. We have a very bold vision in Garland. Richland knows our vision because, we have the president here, so I better say this well, but she's a great partner, okay? And I'm going to say this about our College for All framework. People in the old mindsets were saying, well, not college isn't for everybody. Well, today's colleges are, because technical schools are now embedded in the college programs. So what people don't realize is when we used to go to technical schools, those technical schools used to gouge kids. So if you wanted to go into HVAC, you were paying more per class, sometimes triple, than if you went to a normal college or university. But those traditional colleges didn't offer those. Well, here in the DCCCD, they do. So I cannot speak about every college across our state or across America. But in Dallas, the kids, when they go to college, it's for a trade or for your traditional college systems. And in Garland, we are being very, very aggressive in our College for All system. So a kid can take, and it's going to roll out within the next 2 years. So you're going to see phase 1 today. The kid can take an early college program like we have at Lakeview. That's our flagship. They can get their 60 hours and their associates and then go straight into college in a traditional system. Or they can go into a PTEC. get their associates in an industry and go right to the workforce, or get an advanced degree within the traditional college system. But then there's kids that don't fit in either, right? It might have been me, Rick Lopez. I'll be like, nah, I don't want to do either. Well, every kid is expected to have a minimum of 12 hours before they graduate from our school system. So no matter what, the kids are going to have a foundation of rigor and either being career ready or college ready when they graduate. Very few school districts have that type of mindset, much less expectation. And what's really great is the best form of flattery is imitation. And now they're taking that vision that we're having, and in the Dallas County Promise, they're expecting other school districts to do what we're doing. And they're saying if Garland can do it, as diverse as we are, we do have 65% of our students economically disadvantaged. We're not a Highland Park, we're not a Frisco, and we don't want to be, okay? We don't have their wealth, but our kids have the same worth. And this is a big initiative on how we're going to get that done. So you'll see that an early college high school started at South. This year, we opened it up and we had 150 openings and 250 applications. Think about that in the first year. And they're going to be opening up a P-Tech next year. College at Naaman. This year, we opened up an early college at Naaman Forest. All 125 slots are filled up. This is an extraordinary program because what we thought was having one at Lakeview was enough. We opened those two and they were full like that. But we didn't stop there. Rowlett is our first P-Tech. Some of you have seen that commercial where a guy's talking about pathways to technology. What the pathways to technology is it's you get your associate's degree, but you partner with an industry partner. So at Rowlett, they got big industry partners. They're partnering with Google, MSN, Lenovo, because it's a gaming academy. Now, how many of you guys play video games? Raise your hand. Right? We got one. Now, most of you are like, well, you know, there's no future in gaming. How many of you guys watch videos or get on your phone or text? All of that is coding. And what we don't realize is everything is moving to virtual reality. So when you start assessments, remember we used to do flight simulators? Well, now all those assessments, somebody has to program those. If you're in the fire department, there's so much virtual reality that's happening in real time in order for logistics to happen to get there quicker. Who do you think does all that? These kids are going to come out with an industry certificate. They'll be making more than teachers with an associate's degree. If they continue, they can go to UNT Dallas, and then the best gaming center in the world is SMU. We have it in our own backyard. It's not in Silicon Valley down on the West Coast. It's all right here. And those kids will be making six figures. This is workforce, real world solutions. As a matter of fact, all the P-Techs that we're going to be opening up are from the workforce guidelines. You saw our beautiful GRCTC. All our industry certificates are coming from the workforce. We are no longer going to be offering courses that when kids graduate, they're not employable. Everything is industry aligned and is strategic here in Garland, USA. This is our first P-Tech, by the way, full. So we opened up 3 and we were full off the get-go. Now, here are the ones to come. We got P-Tech and early college happening at Garland, and we're really excited about that. We expect that one to fill up quickly. We have a P-Tech at Lakeview, and it's going to be criminal justice related for the P-Tech that we opening up. And Saxy's P-Tech is really interesting because theirs is going to be related to teaching. And do you know who their industry partner is? Us. So, you know, wouldn't that be weird? We hand off to another school district saying, hey, how about you teach them how to teach? That'd just be awkward, right? We do it right here in Garland. So our Saxy High School is going to be the P-Tech for our future teachers. And finally, our medical P-Tech is going to be at North Garland. It's already a STEM school. It's got all the attributes that we need, and the infrastructure is already there. This came from you all. People were saying we need to have authentic partnerships with industry. People said we need more college opportunities. And people said the kids need to be job, career ready. You're not going to find anything as robust as what we're doing in our surrounding school districts. Dallas is probably the closest, but they don't have that 12-hour expectation for every child. So on student support, that was the next thing that came up. We need to support our students. So we expanded our dyslexic program. We created a new academic model for coaching. It's actually a new old model, I'll say that, because it was already here and we just revisited and just put a 2019 flair to it, and improved counseling services. So in our district, we wanted to expand our dyslexic services. We had dyslexic services, but we needed to be more robust. The board invested millions of dollars to ensure all kids were being identified and getting the services they need. But this is the most remarkable thing, because in Garland, what I love about Garland, we do things because it's the right thing to do. We're not looking for bells and whistles. We're not looking for things to say, hey, what's going to get us notoriety? You know, when you think about investing millions in dyslexia, that doesn't sound too like sexy, does it? Right? When we could be doing all these other things. Well, we just got notified from the Boston's Children's Center and Harvard University that our practices are so robust, they want to partner with us to create even better identifiers for children. Think about that. Across the nation, they knew what we were doing and they chose us. And I laughed to myself because, you know, if you know where Boston is, there's a big school district there. You got New York public schools. You got Philadelphia. You can go all the way, but you're going all the way down to Garland, USA, because you want to do it right. So that says a lot about the team and the things that are going right with our district. And we've heard some testimonials from children on how in the short time we've done this, it's made a huge impact. Because dyslexia is not intellectual. It's just coding. And some of the brightest people in the world have dyslexia, and if we treat it, we can let their gifts shine. We did a coaching model, and I won't bore you with the details, but how many of you all played athletics? Right? How many of you all enjoyed that? Okay? Now, can you imagine if your coach just winged it and just went out there and said, well, today I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll try a play. You guys figure it out, right? Sometimes in teaching, it feels like that because it's so fast-paced, right? Well, now we have a coach with them, and they get to rehearse their lessons. They make sure that they get the outputs that they need. They're starting to look at how teachers are teaching for children to learn, not to just go through the content. That's a big difference. We're more worried about what children learn, not what they do, right? Now, finally, we expanded our counseling services. Now, the truth of the matter is you can never have enough counselors ever. Everybody knows that. But we added 17 counselors to our district, and we added something that I think the colleges will like. It's called a Go Center. And a Go Center is now, how many of you had kids in high school? Raise your hand if you have kids in high school. How many of you, when you were in high school, the counselor called you every day to make sure you were on the right track? Right? Though it's hard. A counselor has 400 kids to manage. A counselor has so many different things going on that we created a center now where kids can go and get their college applications. They can go in and get scholarships. It's a one-stop shop that's open throughout the school day. You don't have to make an appointment. And parents have access to this too. So then all of a sudden it's no longer just saying, well, what do we do? Who do we go to? There's going to have a center at every high school so that way kids have access and opportunity to live their dreams. Now, the next one that came up was a focus on equity. We're a diverse district. We're experiencing urbanization probably 10, 20 years ago. It's here. We're an urban district. We're no longer, we can't say we're suburban. We're not. And it's not a bad thing to be urban. We should embrace it. It's the beautiful thing about our culture. And so when we talk about it, we had discipline disparities that have been happening in our district. The discipline disparities showed that African American males were getting punished at a higher rate than any other category in our school system. And so now we're looking at how do we attend to that. And so we're doing a lot of different initiatives from training teachers how to interact with students, ensuring that we have character building within our classroom walls. We're going far and beyond to ensure those disparities don't happen within our walls. And we're so serious about it that I put that on my evaluation. I don't know if there's another superintendent that put it on their evaluation, but I'm one of the few, I'll tell you that way. If those rates don't go down, I don't get a high rating on my evaluation. That's how serious I am that every child should be taken care of and treated the same way. Equity policies. We're going to be working on this year. Garland's under a court order. It's not a court order we're proud of. It's not a court order we've been looking for, but since 1970, we've been under a court order. It's pretty intense. But we're going to get in front of that court order. We're going to start making policies based on equity and excellence. So we're not saying we're doing this because of a court order. We're doing things because it's the right thing to do, because it's in our policies and it's part of our culture. So we're going to be redefining a lot of our things on how we attend to the equities. And remember, equity doesn't only mean race. It could mean gender, age. There's a lot of part about it that we want to be a place where everyone feels safe. And then safety and security. The main thing that came about out of all of this was we need to be able to reach out to people. We have an app now. It's an anonymous alert app, and the kids use it all the time. They report bullying. They report harassment. The parents report other parents. All right? I'm just telling you, it's intense. If you saw the anonymous alerts, our lawyer's laughing because she knows, all right? If you saw the anonymous alerts that we get on a daily basis, it's amazing that people are just reaching out and they're feeling safe to get things done so that way we can intervene. I know Coleman's like nodding, but I mean, when we first started, he's all like, "Are you sure this is a good idea? This is a lot of work." He's turning red right now because kids were reaching out, parents are reaching out. But if we invest in something like this, don't we want it to be used? Absolutely. So the anonymous alert app has been a huge hit. Now, also with the bond, we're wrapping up our vestibules. We have security cameras everywhere, y'all. I mean, everywhere. We have improved lighting. You know, the LED lighting. I don't know if I like it or not, because now when I look and I'm in an LED and I look in my mirror, I'm like, ooh, that's not a pretty sight. I need some shadows, you know? But the LED lights really brighten up the parking lots. Of course, they save us money too. So there's a lot of safety initiatives that I can't even discuss that we're going on, but we're one of the few school districts that have 2 SROs at every high school, 1 SRO at every middle school, and a rotating SRO going and hitting every elementary. So we have an armed officer access at every one of our schools. Focus on engagement. Wow. So we did our fine arts expansion. We made sure that we included mariachi and step within the fine arts guidelines before they were considered out of school extracurricular activities. So the hard part was a traditional kid couldn't get involved in many things if they were involved in these areas because it took up all their time after school. We're also integrating more jazz programs. We have all of our high schools participating. That's 7 high schools, y'all, 7 6A high schools participating in the Labor Day Parade and our MLK Junior Parade. So both of those, all our kids are going to attend. And who went to the Labor Day Parade or watched it this year? Wasn't it huge? Wasn't it huge? And great job to the organizers. But when you have that many kids there, that's how many more parents you're going to have. And it was just so much energy. As we were walking down and we had our own little Garland USA float, it was just neat to see just all the high schools. I saw the parents wearing their colors proudly for their kids, right? And it was amazing. And part of that is we're trying to get more kids to love the arts. We started VIP senior cards. Where's Book Out? Where's Book Out? Well, Book Out gives me advice on these all the time, right? So do you have yours on handy? Do you have yours on hand? It's in the car. So what we did now is if you're 65 or older, you get into all our games for free. All of them. If you want to go watch a theater event, everything in our district is free to you. One of the things that came about was people were saying, bring back old Garland into the schools, you know? And if you've ever gone to an event, all of that adds up. If I go to a volleyball game, it's $5. And if I'm with somebody or I bring somebody, that's $15. $15 per shot. There's two volleyball games a week, right? And if I want to see my granddaughter or grandson and I'm on a fixed income, I kind of got to balance it out. No, we want people back in the stands. We want people to cheer and be part of the community. The emphasis also is that when you sign up, we want to see if you want to be engaged with the community. You don't have to fill out the questionnaire, but you know, some people want to read to kids. Some people want to volunteer. So there's a volunteer portion, and we have close to 700 people already signed up. 700 people in a short period of time. And by the way, we worked up a partnership with Wiley, and Wiley's going to allow our cards at all their games since we're district competitors. It was really neat too because they started something like this because they saw it and it was a big hit. And they call it senior class. And I said, hey, we'll accept yours if you accept ours. And David Vincent's so awesome. He goes, yeah, great. I go, how many do you have? He goes, oh, we're building momentum. He goes, how do you have? I go, close to 700. He's like, what? I go, we're a big district, man. You know? And I go, I'll make sure they all show up to the same event. So that's been a great hit. Now, we have a new natatorium being built. Have you all seen it? People have been calling and, you know, like they're still calling. And they're like, what are you building? I'm like, where have you been? Right? Everybody knows that's our new natatorium. The natatorium is going to be a special event center. What people don't realize is this is going to be one of the fastest pools in the nation. Now, I've swam, and I never feel fast swimming. Okay, so I don't know what a fast pool means, right? Well, first of all, the board invested in something called Murphy lining. And the Murphy lining, I guess, helps with the way the water stabilizes, okay? And it keeps it even. Then on the end, there's supposed to be, you know, when you're swimming on those waves, it absorbs the waves. But then the board also invested in this filtration system. And I didn't know this, but chlorine sits on water. So when kids are swimming and they turn around and breathe, they're breathing in chlorine, right? People are like, ooh. Well, imagine if you didn't breathe in chlorine. Well, the filtration system sucks all that out, so they're breathing in clear air. The clearer air you breathe, the faster you go. It has a seating capacity of 1,200, so we're expecting big events to be held in this facility. And people are taking notice. It has diving, water polos on the rise. It's a state-of-the-art facility that the entire community is going to be proud of. And the reason why this is on there is because the whole natatorium wasn't fully approved yet. We were still in the planning phases, and people were worried, is it happening or not? It's a go. There's no turning back now. If you go out there, it is a sight to see. Other initiatives, iPads. We did a new trustee framework that we're experimenting with, and Literacy for Life. So we're going from now iPads to Chromebooks. Chromebooks are what the kids ask for. They like the keyboards. They like the interactions. So this year, for our freshmen and sophomores, we rolled out Chromebooks. Now, we use Google platforms a lot. And then just recently, we got notified that Google is announcing us as the largest, what they call it, Google for Education reference district in the nation. Okay? No one else is a Google reference district in the nation as big as us. So all the things that we're doing and the kids, how they're interacting, because remember, we did it because we're authentic. We're not doing it for all these recognitions. Well, they said, you know what? We're going to send school districts to go see how it's done right. Now, Matt, the second largest is how big? 30,000. 30,000. So it's almost like 2 Garlands, right? So that's how most school districts aren't doing it this deep. And the bigger they are, the harder it is to integrate. So we're doing a great job. We have a new board committee structure. So instead of 2 board meetings a month, one of the board meetings is designated for committees, right? And in the committees, we go through all the agenda items and we do presentations. And the board asks as many questions as they want. So if you're free on that Tuesday, starting at 4 o'clock, you could see deep conversations happening live, unedited, okay? And people are presenting and are going deep on all our initiatives. So what's happening is I even had a few teachers saying, you know, when I go watch it again, I'm like, wow, I didn't know all that was happening. Yeah. Now those meetings last from 4 to about 9:30. It's 6 hours of good, deep discussions. But you learn so much that when we come to the board meeting, all of those items have been discussed. And so we could just focus on the agenda items and just knock it out of the park. But it's a really neat structure. It's all televised. It's all live. It's unedited. It's for your viewing pleasure. It's better than any reality TV show you're watching today, all right? I think it's better than, 90 Day Fiance people are watching now. We don't give out roses like The Bachelor or Bachelorette, but maybe if that improves ratings, we can talk about that, right? Now, literacy for life. Readers are leaders. Readers are leaders. We just had an event this summer to test it out. This was our test run. We didn't do much training on it. We said there's going to be a competition, and because in Garland, people wake up for competitions. We're having a kickoff event September 21st. But what we did was we have something called Myon. And Myon is a digital platform. And that digital platform has thousands of books for you to read. Thousands. Or you can have them read to you. Now, this is the beautiful part about it. How much do you think it costs you? Nothing. It's free for the whole community. This is the game changer. This is free for the whole community. Can a daycare use our Myon books? Yes. Can you as a grandparent say, hey, instead of playing that game, let me put you on a book and have it read to you at your age level? Yes. Is it access for our own teachers to use, and then the kids can come in and test to see if they pass it? Yes. This initiative is going to be for all three of our cities, for Rowlett, Saxe, and Garland. The district invested in this, and we're really looking forward to it expanding. A matter of fact, that competition I told you, how many books were read this year? 70,000 books over the summer. 70,000 books were read, and we didn't even try. We just said, hey, this is what we got. This is our login. There's a competition. We're going to give a trophy. And then all of a sudden, they're logging in. And I know that Naaman Forest won high school. Who won middle school? Was it Webb? You think it was Webb? And then we got to look for elementary. They're competing. 70,000 books. And what we're finding out is, like how you and I like to read. We like to have that book in front of us. We like that smell. We like the pages. The kids aren't like that. And matter of fact, they're reading like 3 books at one time. They'll read until they get bored, and then they read something else till they get bored, and they read till something else get bored. Early literacy is huge. And if we can get kids hooked on books, and we have this whole rollout happening September 21st at the CCC from 11 to 3. We invite you to come. We're going to start training parents. We're going to start training community members, so then we can see this access go through the roof. Oh, it's Brandenburg that one. And Webb was number 2, and then Walnut Glen was number 1 for elementary. Yep. So, celebrating progress. The district, now the state grades us from an A through F. Now, we consider ourselves B+, even though there's no official B+, right, Mr. Glick? There's no, because you know what? Last year when I arrived, we were an 81. And now we're an 88. So we're almost an A, and we're going for the A. Matter of fact, our slogan this year is we're going to put the A in Garland, USA. Right? But to make a 7-point jump is huge. That's a testimony to the excellence that's happening in our school system. But these are all the A's and B campuses that we have in our school district. That's a lot. Too many to name. But you know what we're going to do as a school district? We're going to do a huge celebration at each one of those schools with a pinning ceremony. We're going to give them pins that either say A or B with their names and everything else on them. And we're going to every single one of those campuses because it's that important that we said, you guys just hit it out of the park, and we're going to go ahead and personally visit you to recognize your excellence. So we got A's and B's. Garland's almost an A, only at Garland USA. As a matter of fact, that A is achievable, but what makes things, what makes things worth going for is when we move that 7 points up. This is a district that's very diverse. We're a majority minority school district. We have 50% Hispanic students with about 20% African American, with about 10% Asian. That's about 80% of our students are minority. And out of our whole population of 55,000 students, 65% of those are economically disadvantaged. So we're not the school district that has all the money. We're not the school district that has all these parents that come and can invest in their children. But we have a school system that is very robust, that is going to show that our kids may not have others' wealth, but our kids have that same worth. And I keep saying that over and over again, and our results show it. So this is congratulations to the entire Garland ISD team. So community school collaboration is the key. All of you all had a part in making these initiatives come to full fruition. Meeting with you, your voice is part of this. So as we are rolling out our initiatives, you all should feel very proud, because this wasn't somebody just sitting in isolation saying, this is what we're going to do. This was listening to the community, handing over those responses to the team, and saying, let's prioritize and let's make magic happen. So thank you for your participation, your partnership, and you can see that Garland it's on its way to greatness. Thank you.